Hi, it's Nathan from New Horizons Lifestyle. Today I wanted to talk about creating change in your life. How do we create change in our lives? First of all, we need to figure out what are the things that we are wanting to change and what are the things that we don't like in our lives at the moment. Once we have those things in mind or written down on a list, we then need to realize that if we don't change, nothing will change. So in order for us to have a different outcome, something must change in our lives. So how do we make that change? Well, now that we have our list of things that we do want to change, the things that we don't like, now we need to figure out where is it that we actually want to be in, through the change that we want. What is the outcome that you want? Is it to do with financial change? Is it to do with relationship change, a new career, maybe moving to a different location, starting a new hobby or interest? Once you have those things written down, the things that the outcome of what you want from the change, where you're headed, now you can start to create a bit of a plan of how to get there. So you can write down two lists. The two lists are the first one is the things that you can change immediately. And then the second list are the things that may take a little bit more time or require a little bit more action or thought out process of how to change those things. So on the first list, the things that you can change immediately, I want you to start taking some action and implement the things that you can change right away, whether it's today or within the next week. Start implementing those things and then start to then create a plan or action steps of how you're going to change the things that might take a little bit longer. So think about, are there little things in between those bigger things that you need to do? Are you wanting to start a new company or a new business, whether it's online or not? What steps are you going to take in between the bigger steps? Say one of the biggest steps might be, getting a website built, for example, for an online business. The end result is having an online business, but one of the biggest steps in between is possibly building a website. And then there might be some other little steps in between that will help you get to that bigger step of building that website. For example, learning the skills and technical stuff of how to build the website, maybe doing some training first, maybe looking into some different platforms, seeing which one suits you better, speaking to other people that have built their own websites and maybe get some advice and tips on that. And then you might need to possibly just figure out what the purpose of that website is. And then once you do sign up for a platform to build that website, then you've got a bit of more of an idea of what you're wanting that website to look like. So there can be a lot of little steps in between these bigger steps, which is fine, and that's good to have little steps in between, because that creates a bit more momentum. And when you're achieving smaller steps in between the bigger steps, it helps to motivate you to keep moving forward towards those bigger steps. And once you reach a bigger step, then you look towards that next bigger step, and what little steps do you need to take in between completing this big step and the next big step. And then eventually you'll be in the outcome that you've wanted from that change. Sometimes it takes time to get that change that you want, and that's okay. Other times you can get it a lot quicker. It just depends on your circumstances and what the actual change that you're wanting to happen. If it's a smaller change that is within your control and you can implement quite quickly, or whether it's something that is, much bigger and maybe outside of your control to begin with, and needing to take, some more action steps towards reaching that end result. So in order to change something, we need to actually change ourselves in our circumstance. We can't expect to have change without changing what we're already doing. We can't get a different result. This is probably a better way to put it. We can't get a different result or expect a different result by continuing to do the same things over and over again. If we expect a different result or change, then we need to do things differently. We need to create action steps to create change in order to have a different outcome. Hopefully that helps you, and I look forward to sharing again soon. Okay, bye for now.